now we're going to do lessons 55 and 56, and we're going to do them together because they are basically doing the same thing. We're just adding a little thing that's different. So lesson 55 is multiplying by 3-digit numbers, and then lesson 56 is multiplying by 3-digit numbers with 0. So why not do them together? So first equation, or the first problem that we're doing for lesson 55, is 234 times 123. So what that actually means is, so this is one way that it can be done. It takes a little longer, but it's one way that can be done. So this is actually 234 times 100 plus 234 times 20 plus 234 times 3. So you can multiply those out individually. 234 times 100 is 23,400. 234 times 20 is 4,680. And 234 times 3 is 702. And then we would add all three of those up and get to 28,782. So sorry, brain froze. So that is one way that you can do them. Again, it takes a little time. The second way is you can actually just multiply these out straight. So we would first start with the 3 and multiply the 3 by everything, and then the 2 by everything, and then the 1 by everything. So if we multiplied 3 times 4 is 12. Bring up the 1. 3 times 3 is 9, plus that 1 is 10. 3 times 2 is 6, plus that 1 is 7, so we have 702 for the 3. And then because we're going over to the tenths, we're going to go ahead and add a 0 under the 2 so that everything starts in the tenth position. So 2 times 4 is 8. And then we have 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. And then we do everything by 1. And again, we're moving over to the hundredth position, so we add 2 zeros to get everything lined up at the hundreds. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3. And 1 times 2 is 2. So then we add all of those up. So we have 2 times 0, or 2 plus 0 and 0 is 2. 8 plus 0 is 8. 7 plus 6 plus 4 is 17. We have 8 and 2. So we get the same answer no matter which way we do it. So that's lesson 55, multiplying by 3-digit numbers. All we do is multiply everything by the 1s, so all 3 of those, and that goes here. So that was by 3. This is by 2, and we added a 0 to move over. And all of this was by 3, and we added 2 zeros because we're in the hundreds position. All right. So now we're going to do lesson 56, which is by 3-digit numbers with a 0 in it. So we're going to have 243 times 120 this time. So we go ahead and do the first. 0 times anything is 0, so we already know that's 3 zeros to start with. And then we're going to add a 0 there. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. And then we're going to do everything by 1, so we add 2 zeros. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 4 is 4. And 2 times 4 is 2. So we add all those up. That's 0, 6, 8 times 3 is 11. 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. I'm sorry, I just say 8 plus 3 is 11. And then bring down the 2. So we have 29,160. The other way you could have done this one, instead of multiplying everything by 0, we could have just left this line off and go ahead and added the 0 and did those. Because since all of that was 0 anyway, it didn't really make a difference. So that's if the 0 was the first one. All right, and we're going to do another one. It's going to be 243 times 102. So we have 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. Add our 0. And then 0 times anything is 0, so we can add 3 more zeros. 1, 2, 3. And then we do everything by 1, so we need to add our 2 zeros. And then 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. And we add those up. Straight down is 6. And that one's 8. 4 plus 3 is 7. And then 4 and 2. So that's one way. Or for this one, it could be done this way also, if the 0 is in the middle of the number instead of at the at the end of it. So we would still do, this is 486. And instead of putting our zeros across here where they would normally be, we would know that we would have started there with our zeros. So we can go ahead and put a 0 there. So instead of doing the whole line of zeros like that, we would have put a 0 there in order to start in that position, but we're skipping the 0. So we know since the 0 is in that position, we have to start the number there, and then we do the rest by 1. So that's 6, 8, 7, 2, 4. So the difference here is we skipped doing everything by 0 over here. We skipped this step. Saw that the 0 is in that position, so we drew a straight line down knowing the next number. We need to put a 0 there, and then we can multiply the next number by it all, and we will get the same answer. And that is lesson 56 and 55 and 56.